Do clips like this make you irrationally angry? Do you feel like you have to treat modern FPS titles like a part-time job and snort lines of G Fuel between every match to get good? Do you get called a boomer, filthy casual, or nostalgia writer for just wanting a game where you aim and shoot, no annoying melee weapons, crackhead zippy movement, or one-shot no-scopes? Well, fellow boomers, filthy casuals, and nostalgia writers, I might just have a shooter for you to try. Let's get into it. That's right, you're not dreaming, this isn't a sponsored video. Kingerd is praising a Ubisoft game. But Kingerd, you're hot off the heels of crapping on Ubisoft, why are you bothering with this game? Fair question. While I personally choose not to support Ubisoft due to their blatant disrespect of customers through removing games from libraries, telling us we have to get comfortable not owning games, and allegedly toxic work environment, there's a key ingredient of XDefiant that brought me in the first place. It's free. Imagine that you hate McDonald's as a company, but their food you could take it or leave it. One day McDonald's announces that all of their food is free, but if you want ketchup and mustard to go with it, you will have to pay extra. Now, I don't know about you, but if McDonald's wants to give us free Big Macs, I'll take them. I'm just not gonna buy any ketchup and mustard. Trash. I personally have the same philosophy with XDefiant. While the store is insultingly bad, with many cosmetic items costing $14, $20, or more,
Hello, I like money.
I won't be spending a penny on them, but I will continue playing the game because I like it. Hey, if they want to give us access to their product and get no return on investment from us, that's their problem, not ours. And yes, I do make fun of people for saying,
"But I'm still having fun."
But that's for when they're using that as an excuse to reward anti-consumer companies with their money. As always though, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money, but I will spell out the cause and effect that turns $20 skins into $30 skins and so on. As for me, I'll be rocking the base skins in XDefiant till the end of time. So, that is my outlook on it. And pretty par for the course for the rest of XDefiant, there's also the copy and paste battle pass system if you're looking for a less egregious monetization system to reward Ubisoft through. You get your coins back from completing it, which is nice, but it looks like it does expire. So no notes taken from Helldivers 2 or Halo Infinite on keeping battle passes around, I'm afraid. FOMO is life. For those that saw my first stream of XDefiant, once I spent a good few minutes trashing its garbage monetization, which it deserves, I booted up a match ready to hate it. But to my surprise, it actually felt good? Sure, some of the weapons felt like they were a little too accurate, especially the starting weapons, and the time to kill feels a little low compared to modern COD. I haven't noticed it since, but in my first play session there were some hit registration problems every now and again, so hopefully that's just a launch hiccup they'll figure out, but if it's not, you're not crazy, that guy should be dead, and you are better than him, you king. Combine this laser accuracy, low time to kill, and spotty registration, it can sometimes turn into a game of what the whack-a-mole between you and the enemy. No, 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 no. Ooh, I got her? Witches, shooters in general, I know, I'm just telling you how easy it is to die in XDefiant. But not nearly as punishing as a game like Siege or Hardcore COD. I did find myself dying from a single bullet spray way more often than I was given a chance to recover from it, but subjectively I do like a lower time to kill. Armor plate systems make me want to vomit. But despite all that, playing XDefiant sorta took me back to a simpler time in my COD days, where I was jumping into another match for some casual fun, not because the strict skill-based matchmaking system, or SBMM, was forcing me to sweat my nuts off against cracked out bunny hops and slide cancels every game to compete. I mean, look at this footage, XDefiant actively punishes you if you abuse the jump button. I'm not moving my aim stick at all here. That's right, no B-hops.
Slow your shit down, you bunny-hopping asshat.
This casual feel in XDefiant is in large part thanks to one of its biggest selling points, its use of SBMM, or more accurately, its lack of use of SBMM. Instead of other big players like COD or Halo using it to force you into a predetermined pattern of winning or losing to try to psychologically influence you to keep playing for as long as possible, like a gambling addict, XDefiant boasts having no skill-based matchmaking, which makes it more reminiscent of multiplayer in the mid to late 2000s. You might play against people who suck. You might play against people who are good. Who knows? Go ahead and give it a whirl. There's no faceless AI behind the scenes pulling the strings that's already decided if you're going to win or lose the next casual playlist match, because that would be stupid. Now, there is skill-based matchmaking for the welcome playlist when you're under rank 25, but to me that makes sense to keep noobs playing with noobs for your first few hours. And if you like skill-based matchmaking, well, looky there. There's a ranked playlist with your name on it. Skill-based matchmaking only being in ranked should not be a novel or unique concept, but that's just where we are with modern gaming today. Mark Rubin, who was executive producer at Infinity Ward for 10 years and worked on games like Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and Ghosts, is now executive producer on XDefiant, and he has not been shy about wanting to make an arena shooter that leaves out all the things people hate about modern COD, like strict skill-based matchmaking or mini-maps that don't actually show enemy fire. Personally, I just love that the weapon customization is simple. There's real names of guns here too, so you know what kind of weapon you're getting into when you decide to try one. Do the names really matter?
Yes.
No, but it does remind me how needlessly complex I feel COD's gotten with its customization in recent years. Or does COD just give you more options and my boomer brain can't handle all the freedom? I don't know, that's up to you and your preferences. Now, I've made a lot of comparisons to COD in this video, but it's not my idea. XDefiant marketed itself as a competitor to games like COD, so blame them, not me. But is it a COD killer? You're dang right it is. RIP Call of Duty. GG. I'm just kidding. No, it is not a COD killer. It doesn't have the established fan base or resources behind it to comparatively compete, in my opinion. But I do think it's an excellent COD alternative for people like me who probably get interested when a new COD comes out, but quickly lose interest in it after being reminded how vast the skill gap is, how strict the skill-based matchmaking is, and how gimmicky too many of its weapons are. Monetization is just as bad as it is in COD here, just to be clear, but if you're like me and don't plan on spending anything on this game anyway, then I guess that won't matter to you as much. What about when you remove the competition and look at XDefiant in a vacuum? Does it stand on its own 2 feet as an FPS game? Well, yes, and no. I'll explain. One compliment that I'll give Ubisoft is that it does make cool use of its IPs by having them be factions you can choose when entering a match in XDefiant. You've got Splinter Cell that gives you abilities like Camo and Radar, Ghost Recon for a limited use Riot Shield and one-sided shooting wall. Hey, like that shield, you weren't expecting that, were you? Far Cry for support, The Division for firebombs and passive fire damage, and Watch Dogs. I don't know what you do with those. I haven't unlocked them yet. What is that? But let me tell you, the Cleaner's passive fire damage makes guns like the M16 and the Sniper extremely deadly. As for the more special abilities, they have cooldowns to keep people from just spamming them repeatedly throughout the match, which I do think helps XDefiant stay balanced on that thin line between strategic and chaotic, and unique to only XDefiant. Combining character-specific abilities and playing off of each other's bodes well for your team when you're completing objectives like defending a robot package as it gets to the other side of the map. Wait a minute, this is Overwatch.
Yes.
Look, I said let's look at XDefiant in a vacuum, but to tell you the truth, I kinda can't. Aside from the use of Ubisoft IPs and the lack of skill-based matchmaking in the casual playlists, there's really nothing original or unique to this game. Everything you see and do is a conglomeration of games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Siege. Which would make me angry if this were a $70 game, but again, it's free, so if you want to try it out for yourself free of charge, you can. I honestly think XDefiant set out to be an average game for the average Joes, and in my opinion, it succeeded at doing that. Now, just because something was intentional doesn't mean that everyone will like that decision, of course. The map rotation is pretty small in its current state, and Battle Pass progression feels slow. So you're telling me, what, 5 games in, and I have not gone up 1 rank on the Battle Pass? The only thing I've unlocked is a reflex sight on the M4. Maybe those XP boosters make a big difference, but I don't know. But we won't know because we're kings and we don't fall for pay-to-progress garbage around these parts. If XDefiant were a game that I wanted to play for 6 hours a day, I imagine it'd get stale pretty fast. Cosmetic unlocks for that feeling of pride and accomplishment are almost exclusively locked behind a paywall. So if you want to make your gun friggin' blue, you better pay up, you crustaceous cheapskate. Don't know why anyone would want to pay them, because Ubisoft could take this game from us at any time, but hey, that's just me.
I I love stealing.
But XDefiant isn't a game I want to play for 6 hours a day. For me, XDefiant has taken Halo Infinite's place for my game I turn my brain off and casually play for a little bit every other day. I still love you, Halo franchise. Maybe 343's fourth attempt at a Halo game, that we have no details about despite what some content creators are currently saying, will have a longer lasting multiplayer scene this time. And despite what companies would want you to believe, you know, you need to grind our game for 10 hours a day and get past the first 40 hours, then it's fun. It's perfectly okay for a game to exist that scratches that itch for intermittent, casual fun for a couple of hours at a time, if that. And against my expectations, XDefiant does that for me, so I wanted to give credit where I felt it was due with this video. Check it out though before it doesn't make enough money and gets shut down a couple of years. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a prophet. If you want to hang with me while I play games like this every now and again, check out the second channel for streaming shenanigans. As always, thanks for watching. Carry on, you kings.